Mr. LL Cool J, are you there? James Todd Smith in the building.
What up?
What up, what up? How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Good vibes, man. Good energy. You know what I mean? Always good vibes, man. Always a good, you know what I'm saying? Always a good time when, you know, it's music involved. You know what I'm saying?
I was saying you Cali living these days, right?
Nah, I live in Cali most of the time, but I still got a spot in New York. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget where you came from, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But I'm out in Cali most of the time for sure. Yeah.
Are you guys actually doing the Rock the Bell show out the Sirius station in LA?
You said, oh yeah. Sometimes we film. Sometimes they record out here in the studios, and then sometimes they do it, you know, in New York. It depends on the on-air personality, who it is when they do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not always like permanently here. Do a lot of stuff in New York. We do some stuff in DC. You know what I'm saying? It's all over. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Well, listen, as you can, I think you might have broke a record today. Again, welcome to Digiwaxx News Wednesday. I know you know the homie CL. Y'all go back forever. Celebrate 25 years of Digiwaxx this year.
Congratulations.
Celebrating a lifelong career of the one and only LL Cool J, brother, and ain't slowing down one bit.
Nah, you can't. You know, dreams don't have deadlines, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you 25 years in and you still love it, right? So look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, dreams don't have deadlines, baby. So if you love something and if you're passionate about it, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you have to be, you know, clear. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention. You gotta care about everything else that's going on, but you could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt. Did you ever lose any of that around hip hop? Because this is like your first record, right? In what? It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been over a decade, you know what I'm saying? And it's been even longer than that if you look at it in terms of a major release. But nah, I never stopped loving this, you know what I'm saying? You do other things, you take on new challenges, but I think the goal is, the thing that we've never seen in hip hop and we're just not used to in hip hop is artists being able to step away for a certain period of time and then return to the game in top form, really loving it and at a high level. You know, we're used to kind of artists if they do come reemerge or reappear with something, it's always kind of mediocre or it's not quite what it should be or you're not totally engaged. And I think, you know, what me and Q-Tip were able to kind of put together, you know what I'm saying, is something that I think gonna break that mold and show people what's really possible in the culture. Because, you know, 50 for hip hop, 50 years of hip hop, it sounds like a long time to some people, unless you know somebody that transitioned at 50. Then all of a sudden you realize, you know what, it ain't been that long as a genre, for a genre. And so, you know, this is, you know, I think this is a great opportunity to show people what's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so funny. I put this thing on my IG today. Some teacher, I don't know her, but she on Twitter, I like reposted it to my Instagram. She said that her students was listening to my new song and they said, yo, oh man, you know, he could have been a great rapper if he didn't focus on acting, if he didn't choose to be an actor, you know what I'm saying? So that's like, to me, that's like the highest level of compliments because it shows you that, you know, like, what's possible, you know what I'm saying? Like reintroducing myself to a new crowd, you know what I mean? So it feels good, man. It feels good.
Yeah, no, that's funny you say that because I mean, we've even seen that happen with the likes of like Will Smith. They're like, wait, Will Smith used to do music? You know what I'm saying? Like, because people have been so used to him on TV and everything else, you know what I mean? But just big flowers to you, brother, on just an amazing career, both in music, both in movies, and every other thing that you got your hands on, you know what I mean? We got a lot of people with a lot of questions, but I think we want to get into this record first, no doubt. A great return. We were having a conversation about the record, which we definitely we'll get into it after we play the record. Do you want to run the video or do you want to run just the song? It's completely up to you.
I'd say let them see the video. Let them see it, and we can have some fun with it. Yeah. Let's play with that. Yeah,
we'll run the video again. We got the legend LL Cool J in the building, y'all. Back after over a decade hiatus, but like you said, coming back top tier form, which is most important. You know what I mean? So let me pull this up. We'll get this running. But appreciate you definitely joining us today, bro.
It's all good. Shout out to my man CL for the invitation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Bag super heavy.
Yeah.
How long did that take to come together, that record, considering you had stepped away for so long? You on mute, G?
The song or the album?
No, we'll go to song first because I know the album probably was a
Well, the song, I mean, it was just a matter of, me calling Joe and then, them coming to the studio and Tip calling Ross and us just kind of linking up. So it wasn't that long, what I'm saying, relative to most songs. It's just a matter of, when I wrote the story and wrote the hook and I got all that stuff together, it was like, I was thinking about Ross and Joe as people that could embody some of the characters that I was talking about. And then their role was to kind of speak from the point of view of that character, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Who's basically oblivious to my narrative and just kind of spitting that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the vibe. So it didn't take that long to come together. Joe kind of wrote his piece by piece, and Ross just kind of inked his straight. You know what I mean? So it felt right. You know what I'm saying? It just felt really right for the moment, and it's a nice way to kind of, I think, set the project off. You know what I'm saying? Nice way to set the project off.
So did you have Ross in mind when you kind of was putting this together?
No. I wrote it thinking about just different people I've known over my life. We all know characters like that in our lives. We all could identify with people that are like that. And so, I just wrote, a few verses. Actually, there's, a couple that are not even on there. Maybe it'll come in a remix later, but just different various characters that I ran into. You know what I'm saying? I know people like that. So it just kind of came from that. And then I thought, because Ross and because Joe always speak from that hustler's place, they always speak from that mindset of getting it or succeeding in some way, shape, or form, I felt they would be perfect for this vibe, as I reintroduce myself to the, to the music game, you know what I'm saying, in this new era, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Shout out Q-Tip as well, man. The man is amazing on the production. The song itself is
he did his thing.
The song itself is fire. Definitely, I think, a great reintroduction. Looking forward to this album. Can we, I'm assuming because you know a lot of people, are you free to leak who else maybe might be on the thing, or we just gonna let the surprises come?
You know what, we'll circle back. I'm gonna circle back with the track listing, and I'll give you a full track listing, and the song titles and the whole bit. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm in Saturday Night Special mode. However, The Force as a project and as an album I think it's special. You know what I'm saying? It's some different shit. Like Tip really kind of helped me put together something that is gonna be, I think, unique, for hip hop. I think it's a very unique thing we about to do. You know what I'm saying? That's really just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bullshit. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the tip of the iceberg. It gets crazy. I think it's crazy, B. You know what I mean?
So Tip got his hands on the whole album?
Yeah, we did the whole album. Yeah. I didn't jump around. I wasn't trying to do a compilation, you know what I'm saying, of every producer I could get on the phone and all that. I really locked in with Tip. And the way it happened was I had a dream about Phife Dawg. It's crazy. And, I was working on some music with someone else, and I dreamt about Phife Dawg, and he kind of, in the dream, he was looking at me. He was like, yo, he said, yo, that new music you working on is dope. But the way he looked at me, I thought he was, he wasn't telling the truth. He was like, it's going to be dope. Like, yeah, sure. So I was like, it just weighed on me, because at the time I was working with another super duper producer who was giving me amazing music, but I didn't feel like my writing was living up to the music. So I was like, damn, I got to make these, I need better songs. I want this stuff to, because it's been so long, and I just, I like to up the game, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of, thought about that for a few days, and then a couple of days. Then I called Tip. He picked up on the first ring, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? And all leading up to that, I was just working on my writing and just, like doing getting up shots in the gym, or like a boxer, shadow boxing, working on the bag. Like anybody who perfects it, like a DJ who really loves cutting and scratching and just sits there when nobody's around and figures out new ways to blend shit, new ways to do things. That's what I did with my pen. You know what I'm saying? And worked on that real religiously, because I'm clear that you can't start where you left off, because the game has moved forward. The game has elevated. People have kind of taken it to new heights. So if you want to impact the game now, you got to be able to be on top of today's game. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. You know what I mean?
Steady keeping the sword sharp. You know what I'm saying? As you should, no doubt. You know what I mean?
Totally right.
I heard Chuck D make an interesting statement here recently, because we're in the 51st year of hip hop, and he talked while it's 5 decades of hip hop, we really have been in like 10 different generations. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like 5-year blocks. You know what I'm saying? So with your time in stepping away from music, did you kind of like, I mean, because I've heard like Andre 3000 speak on the idea, like, you know, he didn't know where his space, where he fit in the space of hip hop anymore. Like, was there any of that for you?
Absolutely not. Come on, man. This is art, bro. Like,
Indeed.
what are we talking about? What does your goddamn medical subscriptions and insurance got to do with you creating some music? Like, knock it off, me. Like, come on with that bullshit, man. You got to
All
make
right.
music. Like we making music, bro. Like, you not like, look. You know, I know they like to make sports analogies, and it's fun to think about. But this is art, bro. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be 19 forever to make a dope record. What I do have to do is pay attention to what's going on. What I do have to do is pay attention to what I'm inspired by. What I do have to do is stay curious. What I do have to do is make sure I'm on top of my writing game and focus on that. What I do have to do is be open as the world changes and as new artists and new things happen. Like, allow that to feed my soul. But what I don't have to do is kind of like sit idly by and pretend that like anybody on this phone is gonna take me serious if I'm pretending I'm fucking 19 making a record. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. So like, I respect what Dre is saying, you know, because he's like one of the best artists ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a phenomenal artist. Like, there's no debate about that. But where I disagree with him is that this idea that you gotta like somehow pretend to be what's going on. Like, if Michael Jackson was still around, we don't want to hear Michael Jackson trying to sound like, you know, SZA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to hear Mike be Mike. We know SZA's dope, but we want to hear Mike do new Mike. We don't want to hear old Mike, just like nobody want to hear what I did before unless you come to the concert. Then you want to hear what I did before because that's what you're there for and you want to hear. But when it comes to the music, the new music, they just want to hear new shit. So I think he's super talented. I think he can make new music. I disagree with him. You know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes as artists, we can, and I respect it though. I'm not disrespecting him because
100.
as artists, we can get a little fearful and caught up in what people may think about what we're doing, especially when you have artists that have reached the heights that he's reached, you know, with like Speaker, you know, like them records that sell like a 10, 15 minutes. So they get a little uncomfortable with that. But dude, like, you got this, man. Just go get it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at LeBron, right? Listen, LeBron could have retired 5 years ago and been like absolutely one of the greats. Nobody would have said nothing. And I'm sure there were times when people were like, yo, this is year 18, homie. This is year 19. You sure you don't want to walk away on top so people never see you lose a step? He loves it. So he's still rocking. So, and I know that's a sports analogy, but I just say that, to say longevity in art comes from your inspiration and how you write and what you create. Because, yo, whether you 15, 16, 19, 23, 22, at the end of the day, it's about press and play, B. When people press play, either they like that shit or they don't like that shit. That's it. Like, press play. Press play.
Yeah.
When you in the hood, let me tell you something about the hood. That lady next door be 62 years old. 62 years old. She know all the new shit. She know the new shit better than you know the new shit. Them ladies that be outside, that dude down the block, people press play on what they love. And so that's how I feel about it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Hell yeah. You got me over here with the chills. I could dig it. You know what I mean? Brother CL, chime in.
Yeah, man. Shout out to L, always dropping wisdom. One of the things I always respect about you that you drop that natural wisdom. So thank you for that. You know, and I felt like this record was that also. You know, it is a balance. It's a record that brings, I guess, the force back to hip hop because there has been an imbalance. We talk about it a lot, and it's just really dope because it's more than just another record. There's actually a message in it.
Yeah.
Balance. So shout out to you for that. My question is a little back in the day, because I know you already talked about the importance of the DJ in hip hop.
Right.
And how the DJ has been there from the beginning. But with certain people, namely Lovebug Starsky, DJ Hollywood, how important were they in inspiring you and helping you, and to even make it, give you this much leverage up to this day? Specifically, I know we talked about Lovebug, but Lovebug and Hollywood, how important were they to you
I mean, they're tremendously important, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lovebug Starsky, I know Hollywood as well. I knew Lovebug even when I was first coming up. You know what I'm saying? He had like, them songs like At the Fever, Live at the Fever and all that. Some of y'all might have to Google that joint. Some of y'all, I know y'all DJs, but some of y'all might have to Google that joint. But we had Live at the Fever and all that. He was unbelievable performer, talented. And I tell you, a song that Starsky did called You Gotta Believe was one of the most important songs to me, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, because it even though I think I was already kind of on at that point, it was a really important song. It might have been right before I got on. And so, Starsky is hugely important. And then Hollywood, I mean, he talked over the records first. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hollywood talked over the records, and Hollywood was the guy, like, he was the fly guy before the fly guy. And he was throwing the big parties before the big parties. And, Hollywood, even Flash and them, you know what I'm saying? They did their thing, obviously, like Grandmaster and all them, but all of them, at the end of the day, they may have a difference of opinion in where things started and how it evolved and all of that, because that's an ongoing debate. But you cannot deny Hollywood's impact on the culture. The fact that he talked on them records, the fact that he spun them records and threw them parties and made them parties what they are. And to this day, his mixes is crazy. Like DJ Hollywood is, you know what I'm saying? Like creme de la creme when it comes to the two turntables. So, I mean, even the blends he does and the things he finds, he'll scour the internet and find amazing blends and find amazing stuff. So it's like, they both were super important. DJs, let me tell you something, man. Like I bought a song called It's Rock by Tila, It's Your Rock by Tila Rock back in the days. That was on a label called Streetwise Party Time, and it was Def Jam Productions. It was the first time a Def Jam logo appeared on vinyl. It was Tila Rock song, It's Your Rock. I mean, yeah, that's right. And It's Yours. I'm sorry, I'm bugging. I'm thinking about Fantasy 3. It's Yours. And so I bought that, and you know what I'm saying? We sent the demo in, and we ended up making the first song on Def Jam based on that. And the one thing you got to remember is that Def Jam logo got that turntable arm on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was, the DJ was always a big part of this. As we celebrate Def Jam 40, as we celebrate this new record of mine, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only did I start the label or was the flagship artist on the first proper Def Jam record that was on the first record on the label, because I Need a Beat is 001. That's Def Jam 001. It's Yours was Def Jam Productions on Party Time. So Def Jam 001 is I Need a Beat. And from the beginning, it was about the DJs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've always included that in my work. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good, man. I love the DJs, man. And I'm not blowing smoke. I've been making music about them and talking about my DJ's name for 1,000 years. So it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying it because we on the Zoom. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And that's why I want to ask you, because I feel like people forget how real and rooted you are. It's one thing to see you on TV, but they don't know L is. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't know I was born on the red carpet with a tuxedo and a bow tie? You didn't know that? I just came out this side, bring! I was just born fucking, yeah. I love hip hop, man. I love our culture. This is my first love. Yeah, I do all the other things, and I don't, in no way am I shying away from the other things I do, but this is my first love. This is the thing I love the most. Because if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. I could get a tiny spot with a remote control and a lazy boy and never get up from the chair for the rest of my life and have a belly just be twisted and do nothing. But I love this, you know what I'm saying? I love this, and I love the challenges and the ideas and the chance to connect and the creation. I just love this shit, man. You know what I mean? See? So that's what it is.
Yeah, he just answered our question, see, because we were asking that yesterday about the Def Jam roots, because next year marks 40 years of Crush Groove, and that really was the story of Russell Simmons, correct?
Yeah, that was Russell's story and running them and kind of like some of the background of Def Jam, you know what I'm saying, back in the days, yeah. But we in Def Jam 40 now. That's next year, and that's Crush Group. But we in 40 now. Like, it feels good, man, dropping this album. It's like, come on, dog. Like, it's amazing. But yo, you can't, people can say what they want about Russell and whatever, but what you can't do is say that he didn't create history and make history. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, nobody got to condone or like we clear what's, you know, we know right from wrong, man. And we don't know what he did and what he didn't do. But what we do know he did in that area, but what we do know he did is a team with Rick Rubin put LL out and start this whole Def Jam thing. And this thing has gone to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can't abandon him and front on him based on stuff I wasn't privy to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not condoning nothing. So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condoning nothing. I'm just saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like he started Def Jam with Rick and it became a huge thing. And look at all the artists, look at the legacy that we've created with Def Jam. Think about all of the people that came behind from me sending that demo in, from Ad Rock, from the Beastie Boys, programming that first drum beat, and then Rick taking that production to another level. Look where we are now. It's crazy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, did you guys some more? See?
Nah, man. You know, I mean, I feel like you being here is also a big deal. Shows that, you know, you give a shit. And that's huge, man. So I'm gonna pass the mic. Let everybody else get it in. And yeah, man. And the record's fire. And that's all I'm
Thank you. Yo, it feels like, let me tell you something, man. We all know it's no need of us not. Sometimes you got to give the elephant in the room some peanuts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't just let them sit there hungry. And like, we all know how difficult it is to thread the needle with this game generationally when you're talking about music. You know what I'm saying? We know how difficult that can be. You know what I'm saying? And the biases that could be built in. So for us to do that, you know, for the video to already be going on almost, I think it's almost at 1 million views already. It's like 4-5 days. Like it's going, like it feels like, you know, what can I say, man? It's a blessing. Thankful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Quantum, is you there? Is things working?
Yeah, things is working right. Is the mic sounding fine now? Am I good? All right. LL, man, peace, man. And I'm glad that you're on. I have to say the project, because I want to stick with definitely what's going on right now. The project with Q-Tip, I will say to you, even being a person on this call, I did not believe it was going to happen. They told me that you had something coming, and when you dropped the Force last year, I got it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And the more I played it on the show, the more I began to love it and anticipated this record. My question to you, and I got a few questions about this record, but I heard about your collaboration with Q-Tip prior to COVID. So how long have you guys been actually working on this? Also, what has kind of been the delay? Because at one point it seemed like you were kind of trolling everybody like, it's not gonna really come out. Then nothing happened last year after the Force tour. And now it seems like it is on, ready to go July 5th. What's been going on with this?
Okay, so a few things. So the Force, the song, I didn't actually drop it. What I did was I just wanted to play it just to get a kind of feel for what the response would be and take everybody's temperature a little bit. So I didn't officially drop it. That's why you didn't see a video. That's why I didn't promote it. That's why I didn't go out and do anything. I actually just spun it on Rock the Bells and the people kind of picked it up, or if it kind of went around a little bit, cool. But it was just kind of, I wanted to see what was what. In terms of how long we've been working on it, on and off for about 2 years. And my thing is that I work on music till it's ready. I don't work on music with the fear that what I'm doing will somehow not be right when it's time to put it out, because I'm going to keep working on it until I feel my spirit moved. When my spirit is moved and when I feel like, yo, this is it for real, and I really feel that, I go with it. In terms of me saying it's not coming out, I was actually being sarcastic. When I said, yo, because I said in the tweet, I said, yo, this just ain't good enough to put out. You know, I was being sarcastic, B. That shit, I thought that shit was amazing.
Well, you know, for a person like me who's a fan of Q-Tip, I was like, see, here we go, man. Because for those that don't know, it really is a unique combination for you and Q-Tip to actually do this, because throughout the years, although this is all hip hop, you guys have been on different sides of the spectrum. So I was definitely looking forward to seeing what would happen.
Yes.
I did miss the initial question, but I'm hearing Q-Tip did the whole thing. He's not just
Yes, he did the whole album. Q-Tip did the whole record. We did the whole thing together. And you know, it's you know, we worked together, and you know, we was just in the studio day in and day out. And I would mess with songs, and I would change lines, and he would swap bass lines, and we would, you know, go back and forth about what we felt the song was saying, if it was right, and we would we worked through it. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about it, and we got in the lab, and we really worked on. And also, one other thing I got to slide in there is I did take a little bit of time. I said this real early in the Zoom. I took a little bit of time. I took a few months to really study how to rap again.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna tell you, and I'll say this, and I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but I'll say I'm glad to hear you say that, because there are a lot of veterans that when they come back out, there is a bit of rust on their delivery. So I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, I thought, you know, like, you know, let me tell you something, man. See, like, no matter what I do, the 16-year-old me is always there in terms of my mindset. And I'm the fucking, like, people probably wouldn't think this, but I'm like the most critical dude in the world when it comes to hip hop. And like, you know, I'm funny. I would rather, when it comes to music over the years, I would rather do what I don't love the most if it's right than do what I do love the most if it's wrong. When it comes to my music. So I'd rather, where I probably would always favor a hard song, if I don't have the right hard song, but I have a softer song that I think is great, I'd rather give you that than to give you the hard shit that I don't think is up to standards. So I'm very kind of quirky and mercurial when it comes to my music. And I make two types of projects. I make projects that are, or albums that are for the culture, that I expect, that I want to be a group experience for the culture, and I make projects where I get in my own little vacuum and I do shit only for me, and it's cerebral, and it's like watching a Ken Burns documentary, and either you care or you don't care at all. And I do both of those kinds of projects. That's why you'll notice a lot of times I'll make an album for the people, and it's everybody's rocking, and the next album you'll be like, fuck is hell doing? Why you do that? And then I make an album for the people, and everybody like, why do you do that? Because I'm an artist first. I'm not a commercial rapper first, I'm an artist first. Sometimes I get punished for that, but I like to create that way. So this particular album is for the culture. This is for the people. So that's why you got, you know, Saturday Night Special, and that's why you get, but it's from the people, from the heart, as opposed to me trying to do some contrived shit, trying to find features that don't make sense, and rapping with people that it don't make sense and all that kind of, I'm not doing that. And so Q-Tip was a great step for me. We're from the same neighborhood. We understand we have the similar influences, but he always has been a little bit more avant-garde in his musical taste and selection. And I've always kind of went for things that are probably a little, just a different kind, like you said, opposite ends of the spectrum or different ends of the spectrum. So us coming together, I think we just made each other better in a lot of ways. And he definitely made me better. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear the beats, you know, like you hear somebody on the internet, they'll say, oh, he could have gave this beat to such and such. He could have, or he could have did. No, he couldn't have, because I was sitting there. And I was inspired for him, that he was inspired by me to make the shit. So although you might think that, oh, this could work for this guy, that guy, you have to remember that when LL Cool J's in the studio, I'm influencing the shit that's being created, and he's thinking about me when he's creating it. And I'm thinking about what we're doing when I'm writing these rhymes, and we're working together. We work together to make this thing. You know what I mean? So you have to remember that. So when you hear this album, know that every single thing that Tip did, it was custom. We created this project for the Force for real, from scratch. It wasn't like, let's go through a bunch of beats. That's not what happened. So when you're hearing this, there is no scenario where someone else could have had a beat. So just get that out your mind.
I want to hear that, because Q-Tip's last offering to everybody was the last Tribe album, and he clearly worked on that, and that was one of the reasons why I was so excited to see what you guys were going to do. I'm glad this is back on. Tell Q-Tip to get out of his cubby hole and come and talk to people as well, because I want to hear about his creative process too.
Good luck with that, Quantum. What I will tell you though is that it was never off. It just takes time to develop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always in this. And one thing about me, when it comes to music, I don't bullshit the audience. You know what I'm saying? I don't bullshit the fan. Like, I'm not going to tell you I'm doing something and then just not do it. It may take longer than you expected, but Pops is coming home from the store if I say I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go to the store, just not come back. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Miss Brittany Cherry, if you are there, chime in.
I am here. Hi, El.
What's up, Brittany?
You looking good, as always.
Appreciate it.
I am so intrigued by your friendship and your connections with some of the most amazing people in the industry, some of the GOATs in the industry, including yourself. I'm particularly interested in your relationship with Benz Marquis and the late, great Benz Marquis, and Salute the Sample and Rock the Bells. And I just want to know how important that is to you today, now that we're losing some of our inspirations left and right. How important is it to you now to work with these people like Q-Tip and Eminem and, you know, and squash any beef that you have and just, you know, because life is so short. And so how is it, you know, what is the connection like right now with you and some of these late greats and these greats in the industry right now?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, you know, Biz was the funniest dude in the world. Like, I knew Biz before he made records. I had just started making records. I don't know where he just like appeared on my block one day, and we ended up in the basement talking and vibing, and I'm writing rhymes down there in business, beatboxing, and that shit is a movie in and of itself. I think he was there when I wrote Rock the Bells. Biz might have been there or came downstairs right after or something. Like, Biz was hilarious. Secondly, he had a magical memory and mind for music. He was so talented when it came to beat selection and nuance and discovering new shit you never heard of. Like, he was unbelievable. So I love him, and he was a good, great friend. That being said, all of these guys, whether it's Prince Marky D or, you know, DJ Mr. C or, you know, Biz, you know, all of them, like, yo, Rock the Bells, the reason I created Rock the Bells is because I wanted to open up that portal, you know what I'm saying? So that, I wanted to open up that portal so that, no, I didn't say pardon me for the cussing. I said pardon me because I spit all out my mouth. This shit looked like I got hit with a left hook or something. That's why I said pardon me. Reason I created the Rock the Bells was because I really wanted to lift these artists up and to celebrate them, Brittany. You know what I'm saying? And to really see them get the love and the recognition that they deserve, or at least put them in a position to receive that. So that's why I started Rock the Bells. That's why I started the movement. That's why, you know, I started the company. That's why I started the channel. Because before that, I felt like you can't just look at Billboard magazine and look at the hits and play those. Because there's a lot of stuff in between that people don't know about, you know? You got to understand that there are fans who love certain songs by certain people that have nothing to do with the charts, that have nothing to do with what was the most popular. You have to understand the nuance of what makes us love our artists and love our culture. And so I started the channel to celebrate that, you know what I'm saying? And in terms of the industry, look, I agree with you. Personally, I think that everybody should take a goddamn, a petty vaccination. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes need a petty vaccination real quick. You know what I'm saying? They run around butt hurt about nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And it gets in the way of what could be taking place in the terms of collaborations and working with people. And I don't like this one. And Johnny had a wedgie and my girl saw it, so I'm not playing it and all this old shit. You know, it's bananas. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I love this industry. You know, I believe that we should all just have fun and enjoy what we're doing. And because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Yo, and you probably heard this statement before. If it was chess, the king and the pawn and the queen all go back in the box at the end of the game or get thrown on the table or throw whatever, right? So it's pointless to do anything and not have fun. Like, what are you doing it for? Because even the money sounds great, I know, but really and truly, the only reason you want money is so you can have fun. That's the only reason you really want money. You want to take care of people. Yeah, you want to take care of responsibilities and certain things, and then you want to have fun. You want to have freedom and fun.
Certainly.
So why not start having some fun now? What are we waiting for?
I'm having fun right now.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have some fun. So that's how I feel about it. So yeah, I respect the guys in the industry, the women in the industry, the vets, as well as the new artists. Like I'm not one of these dudes that's like, I'm not upset with new artists. I like the new artists. Like I like the joint that you played before this with Chris and the girl. Like I don't have no issues with it because my thing is like this. It's like, yo, if you got a problem with new, yo, bro, like you got a problem with new acts, man, make something that they want to play, man.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you got a lot of people out here pointing fingers at what other people should be doing. What are you doing? Make the song.
Exactly. Real quick before I get out of here, because I've been wanting to ask this question forever. What was your inspiration behind doing it?
Doing it.
There's no story. Just doing it.
I mean, there's a lot of stories. I mean, we ain't gonna get into all that. We're doing it.
I'm saying, Britt, the man's name is Ladies Love Cool J.
Listen,
Come on.
Plenty of stories. You kidding me? We got all type of stories. But yeah, doing it. That was what it was about. You know, Britt, it was just about doing it. And it's actually like one of my favorite songs I did, if not my favorite. You know what I mean?
It's one of my favorites too. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Big Swerve, check in.
Swerve, what up?
What's good? What's good, man?
Good,
Salute.
baby. Salute.
Yo, real quick, I'm gonna make this real quick and easy. You a legend icon, and I'm very happy, such as yourself, is pouring back into the culture of hip hop. You know, Nas and KRS-One. I want you to give me like 3 people that you can see that can carry on the next 50 years of hip hop. Who you think is worthy in the game right now? The new people that can carry on, that you can pass the baton to, and they could carry on hip hop for another 50 and beyond. And okay. You know, who you think?
Yeah. Okay. So first thing I want to say is I'm not being funny, but the music outlives all of us, right? So, you know, 50, 80, 100 years from now, the music will still be there, and we all have to compare that. In terms of artists that I think, you know, like I loved how Kendrick handled the battle. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was great. And at the same time, I think, you know, like I like Drake. I think Drake, if he put a little bit more emphasis on the 0 to 100 side of his stuff, I would probably like it even more. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from a guy who does the other thing as well. So I'm not being it's not the pot calling the kettle black, because I can give you critiques about my own career. So I'm not being funny style. I'm just saying, like, I like the 0 to 100 type of records when he makes them. And I like Kendrick like that, like them Not Like Us and that drink, like all them shits, like they hot, you know what I'm saying? So they'll be remembered. Now, whether they continue on, that's another thing, because we don't know what kind of emotional endurance and mental and creative stamina that they have. You got to find out, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as you know, there's more to the game than just making a hot album now. Who's going to run out of gas? There was a lot of people that was hot when I first started, and we could have picked any one of them to continue. But that being said, I think Drake and Kendrick definitely have that opportunity. I think Cole has a very good, he occupies a nice space. I would love to see him make more music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he, he's kind of got the LL thing of like going away for 2-3 years and all that, but Cole is super talented. There's a lot of artists out there that are amazing. You know, a lot of them. You know, even on just the R&B singing side of, I know it's pop, hip hop-ish, but I think SZA is super talented. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, I really like her music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like she makes some crazy songs. I like that album. And there's a lot of great artists out there, man. Like that. Look, there's no end to talent. There's no end to talent. There's talented people born every day who are dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of what are they gonna do? You know, how are they gonna handle the changes of life as things ebb and flow? When your audience matures, when your original day one audience is more concerned with bills than looking at your picture on Instagram or hanging your poster up back in the days, when they're more interested in bills, when they're thinking about their kids and even their grandkids, how are you gonna handle those changes in life? When your day one audience isn't necessarily 23 and with not like, or 19 with nothing to do, or 16 with nothing to do, what are you gonna do then? So it kind of, you kind of find out as you go on, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta really love the art form if you wanna continue. Yeah.
I agree, man. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Salute.
So L, I gotta ask, the leak that just got put out there, was that AI or was that this Eminem and you was real?
I can't believe that's a terrible. Yo, that's so bad. It's not AI, bro, but
Okay, I'm just
it's not,
making sure. I'm just making
yeah,
sure.
it's not AI, but it's not official. It's not the right version.
Okay.
They just be over the top and just people just be dabbling and just I don't even know why even do that. It's like calm down.
People
B.
are assholes. That's why.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
they just want to, they just walk it all in the kitchen and touching the rolls before the shit is done and, just all up in the pots. If the food ain't ready. You know how your grandmother slap your hand and shit when you try to put the pots early? That's how I feel about these dudes. Like, man, just cut this shit. But it is what it is. It's not AI. It's a real joint. It's a real joint.
Okay.
But there's
All right,
way
we'll
more
did it at that. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Miss GD Sweet is rapping for the Caribbean. What's happening?
What's up?
Yeah, sorry. Bless up, LL.
Bless up, baby.
Try not to laugh because the pot. But anyhow, as Raymond said, I am GD Sweetness representing for the Caribbean, and just want to say thank you for always making sure that we know your heritage. I'm very proud of that. And including us and then accepting our invitation when we invite you. So just a couple of things. I got 30 seconds for Boombox. With your new album, are you going to do maybe like a limited bump box, a limited edition to celebrate the album?
I don't know. I don't have any formal deals with them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I'm not with it, but I don't have a formal deal with them. It's just more of a thing that we did over the years, and then they saw my picture and they ran with it a little bit, and which I didn't have a problem with it. I'm a little bit weird like that. I didn't go through a bunch of, I just, I don't know, man. I like. Some shit just doesn't bother me, and so when it don't bother me, I don't mess with it. Like Rock the Bells was a problem. The guys, like I let them use the Rock the Bells for the festivals back in the days, and I didn't say nothing. Then one day they called me up and offered me the wrong amount of money for a show, and I was like, I want my shit back.
Right.
Let me get that. You got to run that. So it's like So the bump boxing, I'm not really formally involved with them, but it's possible. We'll see.
But my last thing is, because music is, including AI and so on and so forth, do you feel obligated to include that in anything that you're doing?
Obligated? No. I don't think artists have an obligation. It's one of the debates that like a running debate is this idea that artists are obligated to do and say certain things. The only thing you're really obligated to do as an artist is answer the call of your inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody may not agree with that inspiration, and everybody may not approve of your, how you see things or see the world or even your art, but that's what you do as an artist. You know what I mean? So, we got different types. Like, we respect who we respect, and it is what it is. So, no, I don't feel any obligation to use AI. I'm not against it either. Like I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with new technology per se. I know a lot of artists, it's the devil and this and that. It's a tool. It's a tool. Like I haven't used it. I didn't use it on my new record, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like who knows? You never know. So I'm not like that's like thinking like I remember when I first went in the studio with Pro Tools, the shit felt like cheating. We was using manual boards, man. Yo, we used to do mixes. They didn't even have automation. And then we went in there one day with the Pro Tools, and I'm sitting there with the engineers like, yes, this is the Pro Tools. I'm like, what's this shit? And then I did the vocals like 5 minutes. I'm like, that's it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, this shit's crazy. It felt like they lowered the rim. It felt like the rim was 3 feet tall in basketball or some shit. It felt crazy to me. It was like the rim was around my knees. But, life changes and new technology happens. So it's all good.
Final question, because we have seen some lackluster performances. How important is it to have a good workout regimen and diet?
Let me tell you something. You don't want to be out of breath just because you bent your elbow. People 20 years old go up the steps. Woo! God, it's like, come on, baby. That's ridiculous. Now, you're supposed to be in better shape. You know what I mean? So, like if you're going to perform at a high level, you got to be in shape. Performance is part of the game. You got an obligation as an artist. You know what I'm saying? People come to the show. I don't want to give them an out of breath show. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, whispering, mama said knock you out because I'm got there. Mama said knock the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to be in shape and you got to diet right. You want to keep your vibration as high as possible. Now that means different things to different people. Some people shouldn't eat meat, some people should. You got to know what agrees to you, what agrees with you. You know what I'm saying? And then go from there. You know what I mean? So,
Manners and respect. Thank you.
Appreciate
Salute.
you.
Amazing, amazing. Champagne legend, chime in.
What's going on, LL?
Yo, what up? What up?
So I'm gonna make this short and sweet as well. I just wanted to know what's your ultimate goal for releasing this album, and how do you want this new generation to receive your new project?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the ultimate goal is for it to have a maximum impact. I want to have a lot of views, a lot of streams, and I want culturally, I want it to move the crowd and move the audience. Like, why do I say that? A lot of times, a lot of artists that have been doing it a long time, they put out records and it's like you threw a cinder block off the boardwalk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bloop, and that's it. I'm not into it for that. I'm into it for the same thing I've always been in it for. Plaques, awards, personal artistic pleasure, and to touch the people and to share the joy with the people. So nothing changed. It's just like, I use the sports metaphor, even though it's not sports. Like, it's about going all the way to the big dance, baby. That's what I'm built for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make songs and music to be playing around. Like, I do it because I want to touch the world with it, and I want people to see it. I don't want to do invisible projects. So that's the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? What was the second part of the question?
How do you want this generation to receive your new project?
Oh, that's up to them. I can't determine that. You know what I'm saying? That's totally up to them. But the one thing that I tell you that I thought was funny that I posted today was this little thing that wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Like they posted, and this lady said, you know, a couple of the kids were watching me and this, and like how he have a future in rap, and you could screenshot it if you could see it. You know what I'm saying? And basically it I want him to say, yo, that boy is nice. He can rhyme. That's it. Make some hot shit. You know, but not based on my past career, like based on what they hear now. So, you know, and I made it for everybody though. You know, I just made current music. So we'll see. That's up to them, man. It's up to them. You know what I mean?
No, I can definitely respect that. And thank you too for when you said earlier, you had to learn how to basically like rap again, and you had to go back and practice, because you can tell it through the single. You didn't sound like, respectfully, an old head coming and trying to keep
I know exactly
up.
What you mean.
You know,
oh, yeah.
it sounded fresh. It sounded new. Like Denzel said, he was like, "You're always a student." He said, "I still take acting classes till this day." So it's the same with the culture, with hip hop as well. So thank you for that.
100%, 100%, 100%. You can't just say you got it down cold. You gotta keep studying. 100%.
Word. Well, listen, Al, want to thank you for your time, man. We're getting word from your team that we got to wrap up. So listen, the single's fire. Fall off. I'm sorry. The Force is coming fall time.
Yeah, it's coming in the fall. The Force will be in the fall, and it's I think gonna be a real special. I think it's a real special album. I think it's actually my favorite album that I've ever done. You know, obviously that's a big statement, but it's true. And you know, I think Q-Tip did a phenomenal job, and I appreciate all y'all. And you know, like, you know, just know that you got two crowds with LL Cool J. You got the don't call it a comeback crowd and the he raps crowd, right? And so just know that this is touching both of them. And, you know, spin that joint. Give your man some love, because I actually care about it. And I want to take it to the next level, and I want to show people what's possible, all right? So, you'll see, thanks again for the invite. And everybody on here, just much love, and I appreciate y'all, and it's all love, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all soon. And like I said, I'll circle back when the album drops, track listen, if you want to get into in-depth with cuts and get into it, because there's a lot to unpack when you hear the album. You'll see what I mean. So, much love, y'all. Salute.
100%. CL, did you want to chime in real fast?
Nah, to say thanks, L. You already know. Everybody, please show support. The record's available. The whole DJ pack's available on Digiwaxx. Shout out to Def Jam, of course. They put it out as well. And I know, you know, LA, he ain't playing. He out here working. So show that love. Play some records this weekend, man.
Let's get to it. And shout out to Def Jam. Shout out to Virgin. Shout out to Republic. Shout out to the whole Universal that's involved with this thing. And shout out to y'all. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Spin it because it's hot, not because you obligated. I appreciate it.
Love Al.
Right.
Love Al.
Peace. Peace.
We'll run it back before we get up out of here.